Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update.
You know, being Chyna is a pretty impressive thing. I think that I've really made my mark in the entertainment world, and I think that it's an incredible story how I got to do that. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, we got Chyna, and you know, she come out there, and hell, I guess at the time people was accusing her of being a man that had transitioned to a woman or something. I don't know, because I don't think people believed that a female wrestler could look like that.
I developed this right here. Get a close-up of that. I want everybody to see that. I can manhandle any guy in here. I got taught by the best. That's Walter Kowalski.
Whether you are into big, strong women like it or not, man, Chyna, there was something about her, man. I liked the way she looked. I didn't care if she was big and strong like that and had muscle like that. And man, she definitely opened my eyes to what she could do. Again, I think she might have been rough around the edges in the ring. I think when I say that, I mean it in a tough way, that, you know what, if you kicked or hit her, she's going to kick or hit you back.
She was mean. And it was so frustrating because she was such a one of a kind, and it even frustrates me to this day that, you know, her life kind of took the turn that it did, because she's this wonderful, you know, feeling human being that is one of a kind. She has so much to offer. She's so talented, and just found her niche in that she could give all that talent and have that look. It's like Elvis being, a rock star. I mean, he wouldn't be, Elvis Presley if he decided to be a baker or a caterer. You know what I mean? So she was in the right spot at the right time with all the right stuff around her. Yeah,
Chyna, man, she changed the way a lot of people started looking at female wrestlers, or at wrestling as a whole, probably back during that time, because that was during the Monday Night Wars as well, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Isn't she the only woman to ever hold a major men's title?
Chyna, the first woman to become the Intercontinental Champion.
Her and Jericho feuded. Look, because of the way the end of her life went, I think she is probably looked down on more than she should be right now. Lots of people die because of drugs. It shouldn't recolor the entirety of your life. Chyna was a big, strong, badass woman who could hold her own against men.
Nobody ever went blow to blow, toe to toe with men before.
Chyna shattered everybody's perception of what a female was capable of.
The style of women's wrestling had gone to models over talent. She had to work against men because otherwise she would have just had Sable to work.
For 6 years, I had wrestled men. I learned something from them every day. My moniker was being this female killer, the great equalizer, if you will. And then all of a sudden, I wasn't supposed to fight the guys anymore, and I was supposed to be this women's champion. And, that's people want to see the Chyna that, grew and wrestled guys and did that great stuff. They don't want to see somebody that's,
The fact of the matter is, Chyna, I think there was some cosmetic work done on her, but regardless of which, she ended up becoming kind of a sex bomb herself towards the end of her run.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, where they let her feminize her look a little bit, because when they first brought her in, they brought her in to look like a just mean woman.
Right.
Big muscles, and then by the time they were done with her, by the time her full presence became how it would be known, she was definitely feminized, wore sexy clothes. But I know people that named their beloved pets after her after this. She had a massive impact on pro wrestling.
Chyna worked so hard to be the eighth wonder of the world, like they called her, to be so different in our business, to transform her look. When she was lifted heavy and did the cheekbone operations, and she looked just like her sister does. She got a twin sister. And man, I just felt bad for her, man. She must have had a real bad self-esteem problem.
And something you said earlier about the way, sadly, her life was ended. The thing is we talk off the air sometimes, you and I. I'm one of these people, and I think you are too. It's kind of, I'll use the Bible sometimes in a secular way, and it's kind of like judge not that you not be judged. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that just because I don't know, for whatever reason, people want to look down on other people. And I don't know if it makes you feel better looking down on someone else, looking down your nose at someone else or whatever. But, sadly, she's passed away, and that's a human being. And irregardless as to how she passed away, that's not full credit given to her life, man, because she not only influenced professional wrestling as a female performer. Man, from my understanding, she overcome a lot of things in her personal life from the time she was a young girl all the way through her adulthood. She was always overcoming something, always overachieving something, and she does something successful for her life, and that's more than a lot of people could say. They at least tried to do something. She not only tried it, she done it, and I don't place any judgment on any. I don't want to judge her by any means, but I think it's unfair that I think sometimes she kind of gets a bad rap, from a certain company.
Regarding my relationship with the WWE and Hunter, those were the best days of my life, wonderful opportunities, and I'm very grateful for those days, which is why I feel so passionate about being inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. And in my campaign to be inducted, a lot of other issues have come up, which I feel are personal between myself and Hunter and myself and Vince. And I have gone to WWE offices to try to get a meeting to discuss these issues personally with Hunter and with Vince. And I would really like to open the dialogue and have an audience with them to make that happen. Hunter and Vince, may I please have a meeting so we can make amends and bury the hatchet?
I think sometimes they just don't, they just don't put people over like they should sometimes, or say nice things. Some of the Chiefs don't say nice things about people, and that's just not fair, man. You shouldn't judge other people that way, because like you said, she did make an impact and have an impact on professional wrestling.
I'm sure that we will see Chyna in the Hall of Fame at some point in the future. I'm not sure exactly what year that will be, but there's no denying her contributions to WWE.
She was at a point where she became an entertainer as well. She was on some different shows, and so she done the Playboy. She done the one, I can't think of it. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the house, the Rehab House or something. Whatever it was, I don't know. Some of that stuff, and then of course she became an entertainer. She took her character outside the ring as well. And good on her. Fuck, she deserves to be on this list, man. Yeah.
Well, she had an impact. I mean, she was like gravity, because when she was on the scene, you could not escape it. She changed the way women were viewed in wrestling, and I would say athletics in general. Because she wasn't just big, but she could actually, like you said, I do believe she was a little rough around the edges in the ring, but she could wrestle. Yeah. And look good doing it. And I don't know that she was somebody that could carry a broomstick through a match, but she sure as shit could put on a good match. And I think that gets overlooked now some. I think she's turned into a bit of a joke in some people's estimations. I think she gets forgotten where she shouldn't, and I think it's a goddamn shame.
Yeah, and I want to say this. What you just now said is what I was trying to say. You worded it a hell of a lot better than I did, so thank you very much. You are 100% spot on. So, so number 8 was Chyna.
Read the book that has the literary and wrestling worlds on fire. Pin Me, Pay Me, Have Boots Will Travel, by accomplished professional wrestler Bobby Blaze Smedley. The incredible story of one man's battle to overcome all odds and realize a lifelong dream. Travel with Bobby in the ring, on the road, and around the world, including inside stories from WWE, WCW, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and more. Forward to the book written by Jim Cornette. Buy your copy of Pin Me, Pay Me, Have Boots Will Travel on Amazon.com today.